Hey guys, Matt from Epsilon Mining. I'm just coming back at you with another quick video. I just wanted to do a video real quick on what I feel about proof of stake. Now let me just preface anything I say by saying I am still an amateur when it comes to crypto, the blockchain, mining in general. But some basic math that I've done has basically convinced me that I'm really not a fan of proof of stake for a few different reasons. So let me just kind of go over what I'm looking at here. So in order to stake Ethereum, once Ethereum goes proof of work, you require 32 Ethereum, and this can be found here on the Ethereum Foundation's website, ethereum.org. You require to be a validator, you require 32 ETH to do that. So let's say you come up with 32 ETH and you start to stake 32 ETH to run a validator node to start making money per day, right? So first off, let's look at how much 32 ETH is, and then I'll tell you what I feel about that. So 32 Ethereum is equal to $110,240. I don't know about you, but how many people do you know have $110,240 sitting around just to drop on one validator node? Or one, Ethernet validating node. Now, Ethernet, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, Ethereum node. So the question here is, or it's clear to me that you need a lot of money to do this, right? So this isn't like something that you can just go out and buy a $1,500 graphics card and start mining Ethereum, because literally you need to essentially be upper class and rich. So correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't one of the goals of decentralized cryptocurrencies to help distribute the wealth amongst the common people and help the common people have a say in securing those funds, that network, in other words, right? So if you can only do it with $110,000 to run a validator node, how the hell are you going to do that if you're just fresh out of school, you're 25 years old, and you don't have any money, or you're like most people and you don't have $110,000? So to me, this is a major red flag, because doesn't this mean that it's just going to move more of the control into people that have more money? Like the richer get richer and the poorer get poorer. Like that's pretty crappy. Like I don't agree with that. I mean, I think everyone should have a chance, and there's a claims that you do have a chance to stake if you have less than 32 ETH, but you got to use a staking pool, right? Now the problem with the staking pool is you need to take the money out of, basically the Ethereum is basically you stake it and put it in trust with someone else that's managing that and everything. So it's still decentralized in some sense of the word, but it's really not, because you're not running your own node, right? So you don't have full control over that node, the validator node. And I'm not sure how well that's going to work on mass. Like maybe if this works out on mass, where you can stake maybe 1 ETH or 2 ETH and still make a certain amount of return back, that would be good. But let's take a look at what you get with 32 Ethereum. So 32 Ethereum is $110,000 Canadian, which is atrocious. I'm sorry, I need to say that's an atrocious amount of money. Like, I want to have this channel to be for the common people, the everyday person, the everyday man, right? Everyday woman, everyday child, whoever, right? The everyday person doesn't have $110,000 sitting around. Okay, people are worried about paying for their bills, paying for their groceries, and this is it's an absolute kick in the face to the average everyday man, the middle class, the low class, whoever, right? It only appeases the upper class individuals, people that have the money, the Elon Musks of the world, the Jeff Bezoses of the world, the people making 500 grand a year kind of world, out of the world, these people that have power to also influence government, to also influence the world in other ways. I won't get into that too much, using simply their money. Now let's say that you save up 32 ETH. Like you're like, okay, man, I'm gonna do it, and you manage to save up 32 ETH. Say it took you 5 years. You take all your mining profits for the past 5 years, and you're like, I'm gonna go get a staking node now, a validator node, and I'm gonna basically make what I made before, right? I'm mining. Wrong again. So let's take a look here over at stakingrewards.com. We can clearly look here at Ethereum. They're still calling it Ethereum 2.0, which is actually not. It's just the new merged Ethereum onto the new proof of stake chain, right? But let's take a look at this. So if you put up 32 ETH, and you go for, say, one term for 1 year. So you put it up, you've dedicated for 1 year, and you want to run your own validator node based off the current prices. Your total reward rate is 4.72% annual percentage return back in Ethereum rewards. Your estimated earning potential per month is $334, and your estimated yearly earning is $4,066 US dollars. So 334. I ran a little bit of math here, and 334, 300. So this is before 430.92 Canadian dollars. So let me get this straight. You need to come up with 110 grand to make 430 bucks a month. Like, no. Okay, the only way that's going to be profitable is if you have millions. Okay, maybe you have 10 validator nodes, 100 validator nodes, and then you're making 4 grand a month, 40 grand a month, 50 grand a month. But not for the average person, and that's going to do nothing for that person. You put your whole life savings down. You put 110 grand. Let's say that's your whole life savings. You and your wife, you take all your money, you buy 32 ETH, and you're like, we're going to run a validator node. You make 400 bucks a month. What a foolish investment choice. The only way that's going to be successful is if Ethereum actually spikes and hits the moon. Maybe miners as a whole have been spoiled with the amount that we get back for mining, but compared to mining, this is it's absolute trash. I mean, I guess it's more in line with more conventional investment strategies, more conventional investments, but this is absolute trash. Let's contrast that with what mining would get you. Let's say you so $110,000. Let's say the average price today is $2,000 for 130.90. All right, that'll buy you 55 30.90s. Okay, 55 30.90s. Let's head on over to what's mine. If we put in 55 30.90s, so we're putting up here in the calculator, we got 55 30.90s. We're going to use standard figures here, and we're not going to account for the hardware to run those because that's insignificant compared to the cost of everything else. Even with that taken into account, the profits are still ridiculously large. So we're looking at $191 per day, right? So $191. I think I did the math here. 191. No, actually, no. $191. Let's go 191 USD. That's because that's in US dollars. $246. So we go back to here. Let's open up the calculator. Sorry. Open up the calculator here, and we're gonna put $246 a day, actually Canadian, because these are on Canadian dollars. $246 per day. 240. So 246. Whatever. 246. Yeah. Bear with me. 246. 246 times 30. So in an average month, you'll make $7,380 after electric per year. That maintains at the current value, which isn't that great for Ethereum anyways. It's pretty low. 89 grand. So 89,000. So you say you drop 110 grand. Roughly with today's market value of Ethereum, you'll make 89 grand back at the end of the year. Okay. What will you make with staking? Like, it's a joke, absolute joke. 4,066. The Canadian. What a joke! What an absolute joke! And what a kick in the face. So you're both dumping $110,000. With mining, you've made back 89 grand of it after electricity. With staking, you've made 4,066. This is more in line with a very safe, I don't know, like a very, like I think, I'm not sure if you put this into an RSP or some other sort of investment, but the 4.72, like that's single-digit percentage returns, and like both strategies are subject to increases in drops and increases in the market value for Ethereum. So this is absolutely rotten. It's just shit. I'm sorry. It's just shit. So the only way this is going to be beneficial is if you got a lot of money. Like if you put less money in, like let's say you go in a pool and you put say 1 ETH in, okay, you put up over almost 3 grand. You're making $10 a month. What is that? 120. Like it's still that's horrible. Like it's not a good return. It's no longer lucrative. But let's say you put on 32, let's say you're rich and you put in 3,200 ETH, 3,200. So you say 10 times that, 320 ETH. Now you're starting to make decent money, 40 grand per year. And if you 10 times that again, $406,000 per year. But what is 3,200 ETH? Let's look at the calculation on that. Like, what is that in Canadian dollars? That's what is that? 11 million. 11 million. So, okay, so you have $11 million. You'll be able to make 400 grand per year back. Okay, congratulations. Go home with your golden spoons and your Lamborghinis in your driveway. Proof of stake, I mean, is a virtue. I think there's so much virtue signal around trying to save electricity, but there hasn't been a lot of studies have proven that. I really think a large proportion of the energy that goes towards proof of work is actually renewables too. So a lot of people will like have wind farms, or they're running off of hydrostatic dams or solar, and it completely dismisses this and simply says it is horrible for the environment because it's all fossil fuel based. Now I don't know the numbers offhand. There's probably a good portion of it, but I would say that also a good portion would be from renewables as well. So like from a virtual signaling environmentalist standpoint, yeah, maybe it's not as good, but look at like this return makes it completely like for me, it's not even worth it. Like it's not worth it to save up 32 ETH and go drop it into a staking validator node. It's almost more worth it to go take the 32 ETH and buy a few Bitcoin miners, or drop it into more traditional markets, maybe in the stock market. I just don't. I'm just not a fan of this strategy at all. So, anyways, guys, I don't know what else to say about it. It just looks like another tool for the rich. Basically, the rich get richer, you get poorer, I get poorer, everyone else gets poorer, except if you're freaking rich and have millions of dollars to invest. And yeah, it's great for you. But for everyday people, it's horrible. It's not. Ugh. Anyways, that's all I have to say about proof of stake, and that's why literally, man, I really would like to get off Ethereum at some point. Like I wish a coin would even just rise to even half the value of Ethereum, and I think I would just quit Ethereum completely just to make a statement. Just say, you know what, I don't agree with this nonsense. It's just gonna make the decentralization more centralized. And Son of a Tech have talked about this because a lot of these nodes are going to be running like Microsoft Azure and Google, on Google Cloud and whatnot like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about it? You think this is just another way for the people with more money to gain more control over the monetary system? I mean, politics aside, I just think this is a horrible investment for the everyday man. It's just not. It's just not even worth it. Like, your time, I don't think. Maybe it's worth your time if you believe that's gonna go like crazy. Because if you're making the money back in ETH and it just 10x or 1000x's, and maybe you'll make good returns. But looking at that just the way it is, it's just horrendous compared to mining. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and smash that like button. And yeah, like I said, if you like this channel, subscribe to the channel and click the notification button so you can get more notifications when I release new videos. Thank you and have a great day. One more thing, guys, I just completely forgot. I wanted to add this before I'm done editing the video. On top of this, you need to make sure that you pay for the money to actually purchase the hardware to run a validator node. I understand you need a very basic computer, but you need a stable internet connection and infrastructure to host the system. And if you're going to be paying to, say, spool up a VM on Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or AWS or whatever, you're going to be paying a monthly fee also to host that resource online. I've worked with Azure for years. That's what I do. I work with Cloud Azure, building microservice architected systems, cloud-based systems running on SQL Server, app services, VMs, working with all kinds of different resources on Azure. And I know that it is not cheap to host these types of resources. You'll actually have monthly fees to maintain that. So that's also got to be taken off of this measly $430 per month. So let's say it costs you $200 to host the validator node. All of a sudden now you're down to $230, which makes it even less of a makes it even less of something that I feel is good. Anyways, guys, Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.